Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology as we continue with the reference materials. Now, today we will be going over. Let's see, I think we went over the B1 last time, so yep. So today we'll be going over the B-2 Spirit. Titled Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit. Type Low Observable Strategic Penetration Bomber. Program. Development of high-level bombers started 1978, contract placed by USAF Aeronautical Systems Division, October of 1981. Design modified for low-altitude operation, 1983. KC-135 testbed for B-2 avionics, flying at Edwards Air Force Base since January of 1987. 6 B-2s assigned to trials, all but first will be refurbished for operational service. 2 static airframes also funded, of which structural test airframe exceeded ultimate load test before fracture at 161%, and ultimate was 150%. December 1992. By 1995, durability test airframe had completed second simulated lifetime of 20,000 hours, or 30 years. 4,000-hour test program planned, of which 26% concerned with low observables. Testing ends 1997. Boeing completed work with delivery of outboard wing sections for 21st aircraft on 3rd of May 1994, then began storage of tooling. The Vought followed suit shortly after with completion of final intermediate section. However, follow-on procurement not ruled out, with Northrop Grumman submitting cost estimates to USAF for additional 20 B-2As pending outcome of force requirement study presented to Congress at beginning of May 1995. Study costs $125 million, including funds to preserve B-2 manufacturing facilities for 12 months. Subsequent Congress decision to add $493 million to the fiscal year 96 budget for start of procurement of follow-on batch 20 eventually overruled by Clinton administration, this appropriation instead being used to accelerate planned upgrade program for existing aircraft and also to refurbish AV-1 to full production standard. Conventional warfare capability is being expanded with the Northrop Grumman design, development, test, and integration of the GPS-aided targeting system and GPS-aided munition, GAT/SCAM, packaged into the B-2 fleet. GATS, which includes upgrading of the radar subsystem and weapons control software, will give Block 20 B-2As near-precision conventional weapons delivery capability. The first Block 20 B-2A is due to be handed over to the 509th Bomb Wing in June of 1996, and a total of 128 GAM 2,000-pound weapons will be delivered in 1996 to meet operational requirements, with each B-2 being able to carry a maximum of 16 GAMs. 3 GAM weapons tests undertaken from B-2s have explored or extended downrange, short-range, and cross-range footprints, and full system-level GAT/SCAM end-to-end testing commenced in the fourth quarter of 1995. Today, all tests have successfully demonstrated a B-2's ability to achieve a 5-meter or 20-foot circular air probability requirement. With first release of GAM from B-2A taking place on 13th of June 1995. Ultimately, GAM to be replaced by Joint Direct Attack Munition, JDAM. Production JDAM scheduled for release to service in 1999 as a key element in USAF proposals to use B-2A for long-range conventional bombing missions. Design features. Blended flying wing with straight leading edges swept at 33 degrees. Center and tip sections have sharp, strongly undercambered fixed leading edges. 2 dielectric panels underwing outboard of flight deck cover dual radar antenna. Double W trailing edge incorporating elevons and drag rudders outboard of engines. 2 side-by-side weapons bays, 2 lower center body. Each have small drop-down spoiler panels ahead of doors, generating vortexes to ensure clean weapon release. Engines fed by S-shaped air ducts, irregular-shaped air intakes feed engines with 3-pointed splitter plates ahead of inlets, which remove boundary layer and provide secondary airflow for cooling and IR emissions control. Upper lip of intake has single point, 2 auxiliary air inlet doors mounted on top of intake trunks remain open on ground and in slow speed flight. 2 V-shaped overwing exhausts set well forward a trailing edge. Titanium on wing surface behind engine outlet. Wingtips and leading edges have dielectric covering of aerofoil section to mask radar dissipating sawtooth construction. Total 80,000 hours of testing aircraft's components include 24,000 hours of wind tunnel tests, 44,000 hours avionics testing, and 6,000 hours full-scale plastic bird control system tests. Flight testing to total 4,000 hours with 6 aircraft, all locations and airframes stored in CAD/CAM. Three-dimensional database used for machine tool, robot, and tooling reference. Prototype built on production tooling to accuracy of plus or minus 6.3 millimeters or quarter inch from tip to tip. Nearly 900 new materials and processes developed, currently over 4,000 subcontractors throughout USA. Landing gear. Tricycle type, adapted from the Boeing 757-767. Inward retracting four-wheel main bogies have large trapezoidal door of thick cross-section. Rearward retracting two-wheel nose unit has small door with sawtooth edges and large rear door, also used for crew access. Two landing lights on nose wheel leg. Landing gear limiting speed to 224 knots or 415 kilometers per hour or 258 miles per hour. Power plant. 477 kilonewton or 17,300 pound force General Electric F-118 GE100 non-afterburning turbofans mounted in pairs within wing structure, each side a weapons bay. In-flight refueling receptacle in center body spine, initially fueled by JP4, conversion to JP8 due by March of 1996. Development of contrail management system due by December of 1996, reportedly involving regulation of exhaust temperatures rather than mixing chlorofluorosulfonic acid with exhaust gases as previously understood. Accommodation: 2 crew with upward firing ejection seats, pilot to port, mission commander, instructor pilot to starboard. Provision for third member, both forward positions have conventional control columns, flight, engine, sensor, and systems information presented on 9-tube EFIS display. Either crew member capable of flying complete mission, although data entry panels bias towards weapon system officer on starboard seat. 4 flight deck windows. Systems: hydraulic system for flying controls operates at 276 bars or 4,000 pounds per square inch. Allied signal APU outboard of port engine bay covered by triangular door flush with wing surface. Avionics. Comms. Rockwell Collins VLF LF receiver ICS 150X intercom. Milstar satellite communications from Block 30. Radar. Hughes AN APQ 181 low probability of intercept J-band covert strike radar having 21 modes including terrain following and terrain avoidance. Flight. Rockwell Collins TCN 250 TACAN and VIR 130A ILS. Instrumentation. Hughes GPS-aided targeting system from Block 20 involving synthetic aperture mode on radar to establish GPS positional error of target for accurate high-level bombing. 4x zoom magnification available on radar picture. Mission: unspecified but crew workload eased by 3 position selector switch in cockpit to activate or deactivate appropriate equipment for takeoff. Transfer mission data tape checklist in appropriate flight controls mode. Go to war. Flight controls in stealthy mode, weapons ready, and radio emitters switched off. And land. Reactivate systems and perform checklist. Self-defense. Laurel Federal Systems AN APR 50 RWR Northrop Grumman ZSR 63 defensive aids equipment. Role unspecified but reportedly involves active cancellation of radar returns. Armament. Boeing rotary launcher assembly in each of 2 side-by-side weapon bays in lower center body, detachable for loading at weapons dump with up to 8 large stores each. Total capacity is 16 AGM-129 ACMs. Alternative weapons include 16 B-61 tactical or strategic nuclear bombs or 16 B-83 strategic freefall nuclear bombs, 80 Mark 82 500-pound bombs, 16 Joint Direct Attack munitions, 16 Mark 84 2,000-pound bombs, 36 M117 750-pound firebombs, 36 CBU 87, 89, 97, or 98 cluster bombs, and 80 Mark 36 500-pound or Mark 62 sea mines. Stores of 1,000 pounds and below held in 4, 2 per weapons bay, bomb rack assemblies. Dimensions: external wingspan 52.43 meters or 172 feet 0 inches. Length overall 21.03 meters or 69 feet 0 inches. Excuse me. Height overall, what's that? 16 or 18? I think that's 18 meters. That can't be. My eyes are deceiving me. Can't be 18 meters because it's 3 feet per meter, right? And I guess this will be easier when it's upscaled to 4K, but right now my eyes on the 640 by 480 say it's 18 meters, but then they say 17 feet 0 inches, and it's like, that can't be right because it's about 3 feet 3 inches per meter, so it should be about 6 meters. I don't know which one of these measurements are right then. Areas estimated: lower surface over 464.5 meters squared or 5,000 square feet. Weights and loadings: weight empty 45,360 to 49,900 kilograms or 100,000 pounds to 110,000 pounds. Max weapon load 18,144 kilograms or 40,000 pounds. Max internal field capacity 81,650 to 90,720 kilograms or 180,000 to 200,000 pounds. Normal takeoff weight 152,635 kilograms or 336,500 pounds. Max takeoff weight 170,550 kilograms or 376,000 pounds. Performance: approach speed 140 knots or 259 kilometers per hour or 161 miles per hour. Service ceiling 15,240 meters or 50,000 feet. Range with one aerial refueling over 10,000 nautical miles or 18,520 kilometers or 11,580 miles. Length 21.03 meters, height 5.18 meters. See, that sounds right. So 17 feet or 5.18 meters. Wingspan 52.43 meters, max takeoff weight 170,550 kilograms, max wing load 367.2 kilograms per meter squared, max range 6,300 nautical miles, service ceiling 15,240 meters. And we have, color photos even, and a lot of them. Obviously, this was one of the premier aircraft in the ATF game, so it makes sense that they would devote a lot of space on the disc for, the full color photos and movies. We got a parts list, maintenance walkway, sawtooth trailing edge, engine nacelles, leading edge with radar absorbent material, 2-seat cockpit, dust alleviation beaver tail, auxiliary air intakes, flight refueling receptacle, low RCS engine air intake, flying wing fuselage, engine outlet, inboard elevon, outboard elevon, and split drag rudder. Here we can see a picture of the cockpit, and it's a very nice picture. And then we have a picture of the engine here, again, all in color, which shows just how big a deal this was supposed to be for the game when it came out. And we have a pair of videos. We'll start off with the design video.
The Northrop B-2 Advanced Technology Bomber, the world's first stealth bomber, was designed as a highly versatile, multi-role aircraft capable of delivering both conventional and nuclear munitions. Since its first flight on July 17, 1989, until now, over 40% of the secretive B-2 flight testing program has been completed, using 6 full-scale development B-2 bombers at Edwards Air Force Base in California. The B-2 is the world's first aircraft designed, developed, and manufactured using a 3-dimensional integrated computer database. This provided Northrop and its principal partners Boeing, Vought, General Electric, and Hughes the means to construct the B-2 on production tooling, and more precisely than any other aircraft in history. The B-2 team set new standards for production accuracy while avoiding the usual expense of building a prototype. With the first operational aircraft delivery in December 1993, and a planned inventory of 20 bombers, the 2-piloted high subsonic B-2 brings massive firepower to bear in a short time, anywhere on the globe.
Alright, and then we have a maneuvers video.
The B-2's 4 General Electric F-118 GE-100 engines are rated in the 19,000-pound thrust class. and can propel the stealth bomber at high subsonic speeds up to an altitude of 50,000 feet. With a range of more than 10,000 miles with one refueling, and a payload of more than 40,000 pounds of ordnance, the B-2 can deliver a devastating variety of conventional and nuclear weapons anywhere on the globe. The revolutionary blending of low observable technologies with solid high aerodynamic efficiency and large payload gives the B-2 important advantages over existing bombers. Capable of powerful evasive maneuvers, the B-2's stealth design and advanced bombing profile give it greater freedom of action at high altitudes, thus increasing its range and providing a better field of view for the aircraft's deadly sensors.
Alright, and with that, we are left with the 3D view, which once again shows an immense amount of detail went into this. They didn't include the pilots, but it looks like they managed to get just about everything else in the cockpit there. USAF serial number 21065. I assume these are the low observable versions of the various, one's probably Strategic Air Command, one's the bomb wing that they mentioned. One might be just U.S. Air Force. Very beautiful aircraft. Very unconventional aircraft, but very beautiful. And I think that will do it for today's episode, or one of today's episodes, technically. So with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there. We'll see you then.